The Democrat machine is officially in full motion trying to prop up their horrible candidate Kamala Harris, because remember, up until about 2 weeks ago, she was the least popular politician out there, even less popular than Joe Biden, right? So of course you have to have the Democrats getting into bed with big tech, getting into bed with the mainstream media, all to try to paint this rosy picture about her candidacy. Of course, the problem is reality is eventually going to smack them in the face. As we look over here at Harvard Harris's latest poll, Trump is at 48, Harris is at 45, and that's a little bit of an improvement over Joe Biden. However, when you throw in the leaners, the people who are not officially for one candidate or the other, where are they actually leading to? To Donald Trump, 52 to 48, and that of course is a big jump. Now, it's not just Harvard Harris. You also come over here and look at Trafalgar working with insider polling. Trump is at 49, Harris is at 47. So these numbers, of course, are basically what we have been seeing, even though there has been a huge influx of Kamala Harris support. All kinds of polls showing her just simply trouncing Donald Trump. And that, of course, is part of the machine, right? That's part of what they are trying to show. As you can see over here from Politico, Harris campaign rakes in $310 million in July, far outpacing Donald Trump's $150 million that he raised, all right? So how do we actually beat this gaslighting mechanism? Well, it's super easy. You get Kamala Harris to go off script because she is terrible at public speaking, and then you just simply remind everyone that she is attached to Joe Biden and has the same positions as all of the horrible policies he has been making these last several years. So before we get to the clips, please like and comment so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day.
So these are actually Kamala Harris's first non-scripted words since she basically got inaugurated into being the presidential candidate in the Democrat Party. And she delivers her usual word salad. Anytime she goes off the cuff, she sounds like a blithering moron. She uses all of these words in a nonsensical fashion that really don't make sense, especially what they're talking about. And this is actually kind of a big occasion where, of course, you have this prisoner exchange between Russia and America, trying to get all of these people back as a political win for Joe Biden. And don't get me wrong, I am glad they have been released from the Russian gulags. However, of course, this is what Joe Biden always does. He trades high-value enemy assets in exchange for normal, everyday Americans. And as I mentioned, I'm glad they are safe, but this does set a bad precedent for bad actors around the world to kidnap Americans. Now, of course, this is, as I said, the first thing we got to do is expose Kamala Harris as being basically not that bright, someone who cannot speak or think well off the cuff. So this, of course, is the first prong to the political attacks against Kamala Harris that Donald Trump should be and will be making. The second, of course, is to tie her into all those bad policies. And as we can see right here, according to the Harvard Harris poll, 69% of voters believe that Harris is for open borders. That, of course, includes 56% of Democrats, 82% of Republicans, and 69% of independents. So try as she might to reinvent herself, she cannot escape from this truth, all right? She is on record as saying that she is for open borders. She is on record as being called the border czar, not only by Biden and the Republicans, but also by the pundits, the talking heads out there on the news shows. And as we can see over here, people are starting to recognize that, yeah, maybe we should not have put all of our votes on Kamala Harris. Check this out from Kevin O'Leary.
When we syndicate debt for real estate projects, we don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. So I deal with a lot of investors agnostic to politics, and some of them are very big contributors to the Democratic Party. I heard for the first time today, because we like to talk about politics, mostly on policy, and what he said to me was, some of us are having some buyer's remorse. We'd wish we'd run a process because we got so much press in the first 9 days of bringing somebody into the party and raised 200 million plus, which is like a balloon underwater. It just wasn't Biden, so they started contributing. But we gave up 5 weeks of fantastic social media in guessing who really should be the candidate. Now, I hadn't heard that before. It's not that many. I'd guess 20% or something like that. But so that's starting to crack a little bit. And there is precedence for what's going on here. I ask everybody to look north to Canada. When a young Justin Trudeau swept in, nobody cared about his executional skills or what he'd ever done or anything. They just thought he was the it guy. Look at the country now. It's wiped out. And because it turns out the guy had no executional skills. It would be important to leave aside the politics and ask, what has Kamala Harris actually done, actually achieved? Because if I was hiring her, and I'm not trying to be partisan, I would ask her, what was a goal? What did you achieve? Because any governor or any senator that would put into presidential viability would have a history, a track record of doing stuff.
So this, of course, is where the Democrats have basically shot themselves in the foot. They have not allowed the normal political process to play out. They haven't allowed their voters to pick their candidate. Instead, Kamala Harris has been thrust upon them as the one who's going to save the Democrat Party and replace Joe Biden, even though she is underqualified, even though nobody likes her, all right? So this huge bubble that she is in is about to burst, because when asked about her specific accomplishments, she has not done anything. Check this out.
She was Vice President of the United States, and she was Attorney General in California, and she was the Senator from California. I really don't know much of what she did.
I'm not sure I know enough about her accomplishments to answer that question.
Kamala has been at the forefront of human rights, civil rights, and LGBTQ rights since she was a prosecutor in California.
I think that the Harris-Biden administration has delivered for working people in so many ways. Infrastructure for the American people, getting us through the challenges of the COVID pandemic, funding for education has been very important.
I think that her biggest accomplishment is how she fights for education and fights for, it's not just teachers, it's everybody who is in the education system.
First of all, right now, to have a female as VP in the White House is incredible and amazing. She has been so inspirational to so many, so I think that's definitely a top accomplishment of hers.
Like leading the nation, empowering women. I know that would sound like maybe not necessarily political accomplishments, but as a female who's going to advocate for women's care and women's rights, that's really important for us, and to model that for our daughters. So that's two. The third one would be advocating to ban assault weapons.
So the accomplishments of Kamala Harris. She was elected to office. We all know how she got there. And she's a woman. Right? That's it. She has not done anything. They can't say anything she has actually accomplished. Instead, what are they saying? Oh, she stands for LGBTQ+. She stands for getting rid of the Second Amendment. That's what she stands for. Yeah, but she hasn't accomplished anything. And if you want to look at who actually is out there supporting Kamala Harris, look no further than this.
She can get bills passed in Congress that'll protect me and you.
Black, white, Latino, Asian, or LGBTQ.
She can get this country back to where we can stand tall. Keeping us safe from harm without building a wall. 'Cause she's a woman. W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. She's a
Yes, this was Drag Queens for Kamala, right? These are the supporters. Because she's a woman, she's going to support people like me and like you, all right? That is her base. That's who they're pandering to. And we're going to find the more people get exposed to this weirdness, the more they're going to be driven away. People do not want to see any of this garbage anymore. They want to see actual policies that will help them out in their daily lives. Of course, that's where we're at. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.